Last time we overhauled the graphics to bring Skyrim to 2024 graphic standards, and this time we are bringing the world space to the same level. From new locations to complete overhauls of existing ones, make sure to buckle up and take some notes. So we're going to start where we last left off in my graphics video, and that is Northern Roads. This is an incredible mod that makes sure the roads around Skyrim are 16 times more interesting. Thank you, Todd, for showing us the map. By adding many points of interest that you can find when exploring. If you want to get this mod working well, I suggest you watch my previous graphics mods video that I will have a link in the description, because this mod is notoriously known for being incompatible with a lot of other mods, so use it at your own risk. And then another mod that I've shown before would be Lux Via, an amazing mod that adds more interesting points of interest along the roads, but this time focusing more on lighting to make sure your path is nice and lit up even during the darkest nights. And these two mods are in fact compatible with everything on the list, with a few patches. Then we got Cutting Room Floor, an older mod that aims to restore a lot of cut content to the game. These include locations such as Wintersand Manor, Nazim's famous business venture, Maidenloom Manor, which is Lilith's house, the Southeast City Gate that leads into Riften, and many more. This mod not only restores locations, but also NPCs, dialogue, and even scenes that were simply cut from the game. Mods like this make you wonder, why did Bethesda cut so much content? Maybe they had something to hide. I don't know, but you know who else has something to hide? You. And I'm talking about your private information. Every time you connect to a public Wi-Fi network, a hacker can very easily gain access to your passwords, financials, and even emails, almost as easily as lockpicking a novice lock. And this is not just about hackers, but your internet service provider can see everything you do, and that includes the websites you go to. I told you had something to hide. And they can even take your data and sell it. Get out of here! ExpressVPN protects you from hackers and spies by encrypting your data and keeping it safe. Not only that, but you can unlock content that is not available in your country, so you can actually save money on subscription services because those have become ridiculously expensive. But what makes ExpressVPN the best? Besides the fact that they sponsor Nariva TV, they provide the fastest speeds, 24/7 customer support, and it's extremely simple to use. Even Nazim lovers could do it. And you know they have issues. So use my link expressvpn.com/NarivaTV and find out how you can get 3 months for free. That's expressvpn.com/NarivaTV. Now let's go into the big guns. If you've kept up with Skyrim modding in the last few years, you've probably heard the name Rin, a talented mod author that started overhauling the major locations of the game to make them way bigger and more interesting, more akin to locations you find in more recent games such as Elden Ring. Just look at this before and after. In my eyes, these mods bring the locations to a level that they should have been based on the lore, whether we're talking about northern ruins, Akaviri structures, lived-in houses, abandoned cities, and so on. There are too many mods on the list for me to show each one in this video, so I will link the users files page on the Nexus for you to see all the mods available. Another amazing series of location mods that are a little more recent would be the Northern Scenery series. These mods do essentially the same thing, making locations bigger and more impressive than in vanilla. It's important to note not to use 2 mods that change the same location, since you will run into a lot of conflicts. So don't use 2 mods that change the same location. I'm repeating because I know a lot of Nazim lovers such as Lincoln are watching this video, and we can safely say that Ricardo is smarter than those idiots.
My name is Eduardo, you dirty itchy crispy kangaroo.
Going into more specific location mods, let's take a look at Snowhawk Expanded, a mod that adds city ruins to the area east of Fort Snowhawk, as there was a city there once present in the Elder Scrolls Arena and even mentioned in Oblivion. According to the mod page at least, I have not played Arena and I haven't touched Oblivion in years, but it's really cool to see modders add details such as this that I guess Bethesda simply overlooked. There's also the mod Settlements Expanded that adds multiple settlements around the map with more buildings and NPCs, just more locations for you to stumble upon and explore, from mines to farms to mills, making this game feel more refreshing. Ancient Land, yet another cool mod that adds points of interest a little everywhere, this time adding remnants of lost civilizations such as Nordic or even Elven ruins that will add a bit more wonder to your world. Some of these ruins will be absolutely massive, and it just shows that Skyrim today is a joke compared to what was here before. S606T lore, Oblivion Gates, and Oblivion Gates remade for the same effect, but focusing on the remnants of the Oblivion Crisis, as these gates were not only open in Cyrodiil but also Skyrim. Before going on to the next mod, answer this question. Are you guilty? Yes, you are. But let me tell you what you're guilty of. Climbing mountains when you're obviously not supposed to climb them. Take him away, officers! With Master the Summit, you will at least have some logical way up the mountain so you can stop looking like a mime walking in place. Not only is this mod very useful, but I also think it looks really cool, especially this one location. And it explains how not only you, but also other people get to the top of these mountains. Because sometimes, it's just ridiculous. Now unfortunately, this mod specifically is not being supported by the author anymore, and while I haven't run into any issues myself, it might cause some issues in the future, especially if you're watching this video way down the line, so I guess here's my warning. Use at your own risk, even if the risk is pretty small. When you start up a game, you're told that you try to cross the border.
You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush.
But borders in Skyrim are just not really clearly marked. So anyone could try to go for an afternoon stroll and stumble upon a random border as if it's an ambush.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
But with the mod Unique Border Gates, they will be clearly marked and all of them will look unique to the specific hold. Now, that's immersive. This specific gate also has a nice scene of a battlefield. It adds some nice environmental storytelling that gives you a little extra immersion. Excuse me, sir, what are you showing us? Another mod that you should consider is a little similar, and that is Man Those Borders, that adds outposts and borders in between the holds within Skyrim. With all this Civil War crap going on, you'd think that the guard will be keeping an outlook for invaders at all times, but in vanilla, it's not really the case. No one really gives a crap. It's always nice to stumble upon these places because now they make complete sense within the world. Daedric Shrines all-in-one overhauls or simply adds Daedric Shrines in the game, adding these amazing statues to existing and new locations. This gives the Daedric princes a more visible presence in the world of Skyrim, as many of their worshippers gather at these locations. Not really, there are no new NPCs that come with the mod, and all you have to do is use your imagination, which does not really come easily to Nazim lovers, but regardless. The models are insane, and I've reviewed these mods in the past, but I can't help but bring them back because they are way too good. If you like these statues, I also recommend checking out more mods by Mandragora Sprouts, as they are also overhauling the Daedric Shrines, so keep a lookout. Then let's take a look at some small additions to the world that are added by the amazing mod Unmarked Locations Pack. There are over 50 new locations for you to visit and stumble upon with unique interactions and encounters. This mod takes Bethesda's environmental storytelling formula and then adds these locations for you to find and fill in the details. Some of these are really small, some of these are more interesting than the others to be honest, and some of these you can just have a good time with. Maybe a little bit of inappropriate time with. And lastly, we don't really have a location mod per se, but a quest mod that encourages you to explore and find all these little spots, and that is Leaps of Faith. I remember reviewing this mod when it came out a few years ago, and it really makes you feel like an assassin in Assassin's Creed. There are 12 of these points all around the map, and if you find them all, well, congrats I guess. Just, you know, try to land them. And that will be it for this video. Make sure you leave a like if this helped you find some quality mods, and subscribe to stay up to date whenever I upload. My next video will be an all-encompassing city overhaul video, and it's gonna be huge. I have done a few of these in the past, but I never made one that includes all cities, so that will be very interesting. Originally, I wanted to add those mods to this video as well, but as you can see, this video is already long enough, so that's why I decided to separate them into two videos. Big brain. Make sure you check out ExpressVPN using my link in the description to find out how you can get 3 months for free. It's a great service and I use it every day. A big thank you to my Patreon supporters who continue to support more and more content here. Your name can also appear at the end of my videos, or it can be completely roasted to bits if you choose the Nazim Lover tier, if you have a small brain that is. This is also my first video of 2024, so happy belated new year. Hope you're good. So now I have these 2 amazing videos for you to watch next. So make your pick. Go ahead, click on whatever you want, and you know what, Eduardo, you do it this time.
Leave me alone.